Today is Monday, June 30th, and this is the Wake Up Call from WUSF. I'm Gabriella Paul. Sky Lebron's taken a long weekend. Today you'll hear about Florida's first wildlife overpass that lets panthers, bears, and gators, cross I-4. You'll also get some ideas on how to spend the next couple nights. But first, here's the news to start your week. The math is not mathing. That's what some Florida bosses are saying about employees. A report by the Florida Chamber of Commerce recently found a disconnect between what students are getting in the classroom and the math skills needed in an office. Critical thinking, data analysis, and problem-solving skills are lacking, says VP of Chamber Commerce Keith Richard.
A lot of employers were saying it was hard to find talent that are proficient in some of these key areas.
Business leaders and teachers surveyed for the report said they want to work together to close this learning gap. St. Pete's Pride Parade attracted more than 300,000 folks Saturday. Right beforehand was the largest ever trans pride march. Check out some rainbow-filled photos that'll make you smile at WUSF.org. Doom scrolling this weekend? Well, if so, you probably saw the outcry over alligator Alcatraz. That's a state government plan to build a detention center in the Everglades for people without proper documentation. On Saturday, members of environmental and other groups protested outside the national park to oppose the plans to build. Here's Betty Osceola, a Miccosukee leader and educator who lives nearby.
The earth must be crying. I feel the sadness. My ancestors are laid to rest out there, all around that place.
There's also been legal action. Last week, an environmental group, Friends of the Everglades, filed a lawsuit to halt the construction of the detention center. Governor Ron DeSantis has until, checks notes, today to sign the state budget and avoid a government shutdown. He said last week he would cut items using his veto power. Last year, he slashed almost $1 billion in projects. Wild animals in Florida are getting a new way to cross I-4. There's underpasses for wildlife to cross the busy highway, but this project marks the first overpass. WUSF's Steve Newborn recently talked to project leaders at the construction site in Polk County, where panthers, bears, and other critters will soon be able to safely find their way to the other side. Steve, many of us have experienced our own frustrations with I-4 traffic. You report that Florida wildlife has some frustrations of their own. So what can you tell us about that?
Well, if you're a panther or a bear trying to get across I-4, you're going to be plenty frustrated because you can't get there from here unless you go through an existing underpass and battle trucks and endless traffic and such. The problem with underpasses is that there's so much noise under there. You go there and you hear this thump, bump, 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 the trucks and the cars and the motorcycles roaring by. That scares off a lot of critters. They don't want to go there. So what this overpass is going to do is give them kind of a sound wall above the traffic with noise barriers on the sides. And it'll give a lot more critters better opportunities to get where they need to go.
So we know what the animals might see. What can drivers on I-4 expect to see when this opens?
Yeah, it'll just be another overpass, basically. That's it. There's kind of one similar on I-75 near Ocala. It's the Marjorie Harris Carr Greenway. This isn't for wildlife. It's for cyclists and people, just hikers. It's just a nicely decorated overpass with trees on it. And this one will have depictions of panthers and bears and all the critters that are supposed to be crossing it. So that's the only difference you'll really see.
So is it likely that if you're driving under this wildlife overpass that there might be some big Florida wild animals crossing above you?
Yes, you might be lucky. You might actually get to witness a panther on the other side scurrying away from you if you don't ram into the car in front of you.
Well, if you want to read more on this story, you can at WUSF. Steve, thank you for the time.
Hey, my pleasure.
Here's some ways to treat yourself for making it to Monday. Materialists is showing at the Tampa Theater through Thursday. If you haven't already seen this all over your feed, this is that R-rated rom-com where New York City matchmaker, it's played by Dakota Johnson, finds herself in a love triangle between Pedro Pascal and Chris Evans. So you can grab a date, or two, wink wink, and catch tonight's showing at 7:15. Tickets are online. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Know who says this? Hint, epic sitcom series. If so, you might want to try your chances at an office-themed trivia at Florida Avenue Brewing in Wesley Chapel. It's Tuesday night at 7. That's it for Monday's Wake Up Call from WUSF. Clearly, you're starting your mornings with us, so please take a second to like and subscribe. And if you're really liking it, leave us a comment. Remember, my name is Gabriella Paul. If you're not liking it, your host is Sky Lebron. Have a wonderful start to your week, and I'll meet you here at the top of the morning to kickstart your Tuesday.